Usually when people are done talking about something, they don't bring attention to it anymore. If you want to leave something behind you, a bloody franchise, and leave it behind you, you don't really bring attention to it anymore. However, the Bayonetta 3 situation is the gift that keeps on giving. We've heard a bunch of different sides from this situation. It pretty much seems like Hellena Taylor, who is the original voice actress for Bayonetta 3, embellished her entire story. But last night, she decided to go on this Twitter tirade after saying that she was done talking about it. So we're going to go over this because it's the gift that keeps on giving. She pretty much says that she lied about her initial statement. The numbers change and all this stuff. There seems to be a genuine interest in this topic, so we're going to cover it. And if people aren't interested in it anymore, whatever. Thanks for watching the video, and thank you for 440,000 subscribers. Let's keep that train going. Hellena, what is you doing here? All right, it's come to my attention that some people are calling me a liar and a gold digger. I feel the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry, which, I mean, you really don't have a reputation in the industry. You've only been Bayonetta. See thread. All right, we're hashtagging people. We're getting Bayonetters. Oh, that's a good one, Hellena. That's a good one. As I posted on part 3 of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. The offer was $10,000 total. Wait a minute. Wait just a damn minute. You said it was $4,000. So now it's $10,000, and you could sit here and argue whether $10,000 is too low or not. I'm not here to talk about SAG-AFTRA rates and, you know, union rates and stuff like that for hourly wages when being a voice actress. You said it was $4 grand. $4 grand was the whole thing, and now you're saying it was 10 grand. So which is it? That's the problem here. You're destroying any sort of credibility you may have had initially with your original statement, because I guess you didn't expect platinum to sort of come out, you know, in a roundabout way, you know, papers just accidentally dropping on the ground to places like Bloomberg with the actual source of the information, with the actual contracts that you were offered. So it went from 4 grand to 10 grand. So this is going to be a roller coaster. Let's just keep riding it. Remember, this is a $450 million franchise, not including merchandise. What planet do you live on? There's a difference between gross profit and net profit. Have you ever taken a basic business class? Have you ever learned anything about basic business? Jesus Christ. I then wrote in Japanese to Hideki Kamiya asking for what I was worth. I thought that as a creative, he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra that's not a number, but I'm assuming $5,000. So now, if we take that $10,000, now we're at $15,000. So once again, $15,000 is a lot different than $4,000. If I offer $15,000, if I'm going to buy a car or something and I offer $15,000 versus $4,000, I'm probably going to get the car for $15,000. There's a big discrepancy in that. $15,000 to $4,000, that's $11,000. That's roughly three times the amount that you said you were initially offered. So man, there's so many holes in your original story. It's like, now you're talking about you were offered 15 grand. Okay, like, I'm supposed to feel bad over $15,000. Why didn't you say this in the first place? Why were you given this number of $4,000, which doesn't exist? Oh man, ridiculous. Let's move on. So I declined to voice the game. I then heard nothing from them from 11 months. Then they offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. Any other lies, such as $4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. There were not extensive negotiations. I was informed of ridiculous fictions, such as I was asking for $250,000. I am a team player. I was just asking for a fair living wage in line with the value that I bring to this game. First and damn foremost, not a lot of people noticed that you were replaced with Jennifer Hale. Second off, a fair and living wage, 15 grand. Your own words. You were offered 15 grand after you declined the $10,000. 15 grand for a couple days of voice acting, for a couple days of work. That sounds pretty damn good to me. You see, the whole living wage thing isn't that you just do things for a couple days and then you expect to coast on that. When you look at someone like Jennifer Hale, she is constantly grinding. 15 grand for a couple days of work. Nobody watching this video makes 15 grand in a couple days of work. The person creating this video, me, does not make 15 grand for a couple days of work. I wish I could have 15 grand for a few days of work. You could say the impact that you have on the game Like I said, I didn't even notice that you were gone. I didn't even notice that was a different voice actress. Nobody knew who you were prior to this whole situation. Once you came out and said, I am the voice actress for Bayonetta 3, then you got attention. Prior to that, you don't exist within this industry. You've only played one role within the industry. I don't see where this disconnect is between the potential gross profit of a game. $450 million for Bayonetta? Are you listening? Are you reading what you type? Like, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely, there is no way in hell. Bayonetta 3 will not make a profit. Point blank, that game's not gonna make a profit. Nintendo does it because of the fact that it looks good for their portfolio and it helps pad out the Nintendo Switch library. This is a game that's been in development for 5+ years. $450 million. Now it was actually offered $15,000, but then they wanted me to kind of reprise, do a cameo spot for $4,000. But feel bad for me, even though I lied to you off the gate to try to garnish sympathy and garnish Twitter likes. Like, it makes no sense to me. I could not talk about the game because of NDAs, but I happily answered fan letters, emails, signed posters, recorded voice messages for weddings and birthdays. I kept up interest in the game during long periods of radio silence from Platinum. Who are you? So you're basically saying that you're doing stuff based on the Bayonetta 3 character, based on the Bayonetta character, and making money from it, because I'm sure you're not doing those voice messages for weddings and birthdays. They're called cameos, by the way. I am sure that you're not doing those for free, but let's take a look to see. Oh, look, I can't get a voice message for her. Maybe it's a UK only thing because she's obviously some sort of British, so maybe it's a UK only website, but I don't see where that exists. But hey, let's just keep going on. The only time I was ever at a game conference, I felt weird asking fans for money for a signature, as they had already paid for the game, and I was grateful that they liked my work and the character. Yeah, I'm sure you. Do you not understand how conventions work? Like, if you're a big name person that is bringing in people like you say you are, you get a fee. There's voice actors and characters from 80s movies that haven't worked since the 80s that go to these conventions and charge $25 for a signature or photo opportunity. Like, if you're so well ingrained in the industry, you would understand that. So I donated 100% of the signing fees to charity. I will post the 14 charities so that you can donate to the charity instead of buying this game from corrupt, greedy people. There are people who are attempting to throw shade and discredit what I say. The industry is powerful. They have powerful journalists too. They are trying to save their asset. Don't fall for it. More weird hashtags and get off the internet. Get off the internet. Because all you have done with this statement is proven that, let's say that everything that you just said was 100% true. 100% true. You just discredited yourself. You are admitting that you indeed were offered $15,000 and you felt that that was too low. And then they offered you a sort of cameo role in the game for an additional $4,000 and you felt that that was too low. You felt that you were bigger than the game. You were bigger than Platinum. You were the Bayonetta character. When in actuality, this is a franchise that has never done well in terms of sales and in terms of recognition. Hardcore gamers understand it. Hardcore gamers love it for the most part. But as far as like mass appeal is concerned, $450 million, where are you pulling that number out of your ass? That is crazy to me. And the fact that you're doubling down on this, you're doubling down, you're saying that you were right, that people are trying to make lies about you and discredit you and this, that, and the other. You discredited yourself by saying that you were only offered $4,000 to reprise your role as Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3. If you would have came out and said $15,000 and been honest about it, then we could actually have a discussion about voice actors, what they're worth, what their impact is, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, by starting out with a lie, you have ruined any sort of goodwill. You have ruined any sort of reasoning with people because you lied to them in the first place. You don't take any accountability for the situation. You take no accountability for the situation. It's everyone else's fault. It's Platinum's fault. It's the video game industry's fault. It's Twitter's fault. It's gaming journalists' fault. It's everyone's fault but your own fault. And that's a problem with society to begin with anyways. There is no accountability anymore. It's always somebody else's fault, somebody else's problem. It's never the actual individual. But Hellena Taylor, Jesus Christ. get off the internet. But first off, let's keep it a buck here. Change your damn profile picture, because there's a lie right in there, because this is you. Okay, this is you. Maybe at one time this was you, and you know, okay, whatever, but now this is you. Okay, now this is you. Stop with the lies. Get off the damn internet. You have less followers than I do on Twitter. You have less followers than I do, yet you want to make a big deal like you're this huge impact in the video game industry. Nobody knows who you are, okay? And maybe that's because you don't work on other projects. Maybe that's because you're not, you know, a focal point of a lot of people's interest, but nobody knows who you are. Go back into obscurity. I know that you do plays and stuff and you know, stage performances in the UK. Go back to that, because you never really were a part of the video game industry. You happened to fall into a role that you did for really 2 games, and that was it. And quit lying. Quit lying to people. Quit lying to yourself, more importantly. I'm done with this topic, hopefully. Jesus Christ, man. Go Bayonetta. I hope the game doesn't have frame rate issues like I heard it does. Oops, did I say that out loud? Goodbye.